All right, well, good morning to everyone. Welcome to all of you from the College of Natural and Applied Sciences. Before we begin, I want to acknowledge that the University of Alberta is located on Treaty 6 territory and the Métis homeland, and we respect the history, languages, and cultures of the First Nations, Métis, Inuit, and all First Peoples of Canada, whose presence continues to enrich our institution and community. I also want to mention that this webinar is being recorded for those who were not able to be here with us during this time. My name is Berna Yu, and I'm the Interim Provost and Vice President Academic, and I'm very pleased to be able to chair this College Dean Vice Provost Selection Committee and host this town hall. Go to the next slide, please. So the purpose of this town hall is to provide you with an overview of the College Dean Vice Provost selection process and to give you an opportunity to provide us with your thoughts and opinions on the future direction of the college and on the qualities of your next College Dean / Vice Provost. As you will recall, 2 years ago, the University of Alberta for Tomorrow was launched and the new college structure was formed. At the time, 3 interim college deans were appointed. These appointments will come to an end in June 2023, and so we are launching the search process to fill these roles. As a point of clarity, when these positions are filled, the title will be amended to College Dean and Vice Provost. This will reflect the authority they need to advance the college objectives and leverage the strengths of the facilities. This will also enable me to hold the College Dean Vice Provost accountable for delivering the goals set by the colleges and obviously by my office and the university. Over the next few months, searches will take place also for the other 2 colleges, the College of Health Sciences and the College of Social Sciences and Humanities. So it's going to be a very busy time. Next slide, please. So just a bit of a refresher on the 3 primary functions of the college. Absolutely, first and foremost, to support undergraduate and graduate students and programs, to support research, and to drive interdisciplinarity and strategic initiatives, including delivering on established priorities, such as the Institutional Indigenous Strategic Plan, and reaffirming our commitments to equity, diversity, inclusion. This model amplifies the college's leadership, input, and impact on institutional-wide strategies. Next slide. Ultimately, the goal this year is to get these college deans, vice provosts in place and focus on advancing the college model. Much of my time will be to continue to clarify the roles and responsibilities and accountabilities of the leadership. It is really important that this process be successful in securing the very best person to lead the college in the coming years. With these thoughts in mind, we've laid out the following roles of the College Dean Vice Provost. Number 1, to inspire a shared vision for the college and the university. Working with the deans of the respective colleges, the College Dean Vice Provost will lead planning processes for the college, including budget, space, hiring, enrollment, program planning. Lead the development of the college research and teaching strategies in alignment with the upcoming university strategic planning processes. Lead the Council of Deans in the college, overseeing college administration, and building partnerships and relationships that advance college and university goals and visions. The selection process really is shown here, where this slide shows the approval process for this decision. The Search and Selection Committee makes a decision on final name to be put forward to the president. The president then can either accept or reject the recommendation from the selection committee, but ultimately has to take the candidate's name to the Board of Governors for final approval. The selection committee composition is outlined within the university procedure and is under the authority of general university policy. There are 13 names, 13 members, which are names are listed on the provost website. And I would ask that we be supportive of our selection committee, who is going to be doing some very difficult but essential work to achieve a successful outcome. And on that note, members of the College Dean Vice Provost Selection Committee are here. I know it's hard to see the members because we've got the slides there, but if people can see, if you can turn on your cameras and just wave to everyone so that people can see who you are. On slide 7, These are the committee names and the emails in alphabetical order. Andrea Anthony, who's the acting faculty general manager for engineering. Stan Blade, Dean of AOS. Stephanie Dickey, student services advisor for AOS. The vice chair of this committee is Walter Dixon, who's special advisor for VPRI. Anastasia Elias, who's professor in chemical and materials engineering and associate dean for research in engineering. Greg Goss, professor of biological sciences. Hiran Koklatar, VP of labor, GSA. Karsten Kraus, associate professor, CPP director of science. Jackie Layton, professor, educational psychology and education. Shampreet Singh, who is representing the S Students Union representative. And Jessica Vandenberg, who's industry professor, Indigenous engineering of the Faculty of Engineering. You will also see that their emails are listed here. Feel free to reach out to them with your feedback, and their names and contact information will also be posted on the Provost website. And to the committee members, I just want to publicly thank you for your time and dedication to the search and selection process. The next slide outlines the meeting schedule that is ahead of us. And for committee members to participate in a final decision, members must attend every meeting in the College Dean Vice Provost selection process. So again, I just want to relay my thanks to all of you who are volunteering to be on this committee. The next slide goes over the selection committee responsibilities, really to make sure that decision-making is informed, deliberate, equitable, to pick the best person possible for the faculties, college, and the university. Members' votes lead to a decision. It's going to be based on their own best judgment as individuals, having had the benefit of all the information and considerations undertaken in the committee process. And they will deliver the new College Dean Vice Provost with a strong mandate. As you know, they're going to be bound by confidentiality throughout the process, and afterward, please respect these boundaries. The committee has already had its first meeting, and they are all taking these responsibilities very seriously. The next slide goes over, well, what do we really want from you as faculty, staff, students, in the community? Well, we want you to attend events. There are going to be some public sessions that will be coming into the future. We want to hear from you. The committee cannot do this work without input from yourselves, and that is the main reason for today's town hall. We can trust for sure that the committee members are going to be doing a great job, and they're going to be working hard and will continue to do so. And again, please respect the confines of confidentiality, because confidentiality is key to this process and ensures that the new College Dean Vice Provost will be positioned for success. It is the most important principle in this process. It protects the university, the college, the faculty, committee, and the candidates. In the next slide, we go over a bit, I'd like to open the floor for discussion. I invite you to bring forward the priorities, current issues, and/or future direction of the college, and also any comments on the qualities that you would like to see in the person taking on this role. And again, any general comments and questions about the process, we really want to hear from you. So in the final slide, if you think of a question or comment at a later date, the recent memo inviting you to this town hall included a link to an online form. Use the form to provide feedback to the committee at any time up until the end of the day on October 28th. It may help you to know that on this form, you can remain anonymous, and that can be granted for all non-tenured faculty, staff, and students. So please know that the Provost website, again, will be updated with the information as the process unfolds. And of course, you can always email me directly at provost@ualberta.ca. So with that, that's the end of the presentation. Happy to open up and answer any questions. I know that Sheila Stosky, who's working with us in the office, can help try to provide some moderation for the questions. So I'll leave it open at this point, and also invite any members of the Search and Selection Committee if they wanted to add any comments also.
If you'd like to type your comment or question into the Q&A section, we can start, and I will read them out loud.
Yeah, so Nadir's got a question. Is the position open for internal as well as external candidates? Absolutely, Nadir. The search firm, we've asked Boyden to actually help us with the search. And this is open competition for everyone, as long as they're the best person for the job. So yes, it is open for all candidates. Are there any other questions from anyone? I really do appreciate the participation. There's over 80 people, so that's great to see. And as I said, this is videotaped because I know that we didn't give you a lot of notice for this town hall, so apologies on our end for that. Just as a reminder, we want to hear from you, please. This is really important, not just from my vantage point as provost, but I think it's very important for the university and for the community. Yes, that's a really good question too, Nadir. We added the vice provost designation because the college deans report up to myself. For those of you who may have seen the announcement that came out of my office, we've restructured the provost office to go from 24 direct reports down to 12. And the college deans are now reporting directly to myself, and the vice provost designation actually helps inform that reporting structure. Hope that answers your question. Okay, I'll give you another 30 seconds. If not, I know it's tough sometimes to come up with questions without having some time to think about it. So. Yeah, so Lisa, the question about how is recruiting taking place? So there is a plan around advertisement, and so we're doing sort of some broad advertisements and sort of the very typical types of places that you would see job postings, not just within Alberta, but also nationally and also internationally. As you know, advertisements really only results in a very small proportion of people really who are interested in positions. And so the real work really is the job of the search firms, where they are able to actually go out and talk to interested parties. They have a big network of people that they probably know, people who may be already interested. And so the job of the search firm is really to do some of that shoulder tapping and to really go out amongst their own network. One of the asks that we do want to ask of all of you in the community is really, if you think there are some really good candidates for this position, feel free again to either email any member of the search and selection. You can email myself, or you can email Boyden. So Boyden is actually there to also receive emails for this. Yeah, so the role of the college dean is really to provide, I would say, services that would make this sense, and absolutely requires the collaboration and conversations with the faculty deans. Nothing will be done without consent and assent of the faculty deans. It's really important to make sure that whatever is done for the right reasons. And so there are some potential things that might make sense if you think about, let's say, graduate students. I'm just throwing it out there. I actually don't know this for a fact, but I would say that in CNAS, there's a lot of commonality amongst the graduate student program. Obviously, engineering's got the bulk of that. And, are there some processes that are working really well in engineering that could be shared with the other faculties? And so is there an ability to leverage off on some of that learning? So I don't think we're really thinking about necessarily centralizing everything. I think a lot of the work has already gone into centralizing. I think it's now trying to make sure that we leverage off on what we know are some certain strengths within some of the faculties. How do we share it together? And how do we make sure that we continue to improve on our functionality versus the anatomy?
There's a comment from one of the committee members Can we ask the group about desired characteristics? Is there anything that stands out that you'd like to see, talk about right now, or think about? And also, we should let you know that you're free to suggest possible candidates if you know of an outstanding person internally or externally.
Yeah, I would say we spent quite a bit of time talking about skills and attributes of the type of person we want, and it's a big ask, but there's lots of really great leaders out there, both internally and externally. So all right. Sheila, is that good for time?
Yes. So last call for questions, just in case you joined just a minute ago. We're last call for questions to Verna about this process.
So Syed, your question is, would internal candidates and faculty be given priority as they understand our academic environment more than out of province applicants? It's a really great question, Syed, because I think the balance around internal versus external has always been, a conversation that we've had on all leadership searches, not just for the college dean / vice provost. Then you have to kind of balance that. There's going to be pros of internal candidates. They know the environment. They can probably, start everything on day one. And there is a learning curve if you're external. And I'd like to think that Alberta is quite different as a province in terms of, relationships are very important in our province. So, but there is going to have to be that balance in that conversation. And I would say that this is going to be one of the conversations that the search and selection committee members would have to have about the pros and cons and weigh them against the type of applicants that we're getting. Don't think I quite answered your question, Syed, but just to say it is a really important aspect when we do discuss about which candidates would be good. So the anonymous attendee question is it fait accompli that Martina Kalkunas-Rappel would be the de facto college dean, and can you please comment on that perception? Well, all I can say is that if it was a fait accompli, I don't think I would be hiring a search firm to actually look for candidates, not just within Alberta, but in Canada and internationally. If this is one of those done deals, I don't, I'm of the mindset that I don't like to waste money if that was the setting. So I would say that it's not fait accompli. I would say that we do want a diverse slate of candidates. And I think it's then the conversations that we're going to have with the search and selection committee about who's going to be the best fit, and in this setting that, maybe internal as Martina would be versus an external. So hope that helps answer your question. These are really good questions, by the way, so I'm glad that they're slowly trickling in, so I appreciate that.
Well, I think last call for questions. Just a reminder, you can let your colleagues know who missed this, that we will get this recording up on the Provost's website under Deans and Selections and reviews on that page.
All right, so I think we'll end the town hall. Thank you again for the participation. And again, just can't say thanks enough to the volunteers and the search and selection committee and the time and commitment they're going to have to the search. So thanks to everyone and thanks to all the participants. And we'll provide you with updates as the search continues. Thank you so much.